Yeah.
Okay, and we are now, everybody is now on the stream. You can see everyone.
All right.
So, hello, everybody. Today's WebCon Spotlight live stream is going to be hosted by me, Jessica Pang, and I, Jorge. You want to just go by Jorge or?
Yeah, we'll go Jorge, J-Pin, either or.
Okay,
Hello,
cool.
everyone.
And yeah, we have some really awesome, talented guests and panelists and lovely cosplayers that as you can see here. So we're super excited. Just a quick thing, if you go ahead and type in anything in the chat that you want our panelists to know. If you have any questions, I'll be able to see them. We can read them to them. And Ant is here. He's conserving his vocal cords. Someone asked, "Where are you there, Ant?" So he's fine. He's around.
He's just saving his strength.
Yeah, he's just saving his strength. So we're filling in for him. And yeah, so we're super excited to hear more about the panelists and what you can look forward to this weekend. Anything to add to that, Jorge?
uh, that's basically it. Yeah, nice little run through the program.
Cool. So who wants to go first?
I mean, I can. I don't really care. It's
Okay.
fine.
There you go, Dustin.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Dustin Copeland. I am one of the panelists for WebCon. A little bit about me. Well, I've been doing paneling since 2011. I go to different cons. I mostly stay in the Southeast. I'm a podcast co host at the Anime of Yesteryear podcast. I am also an anime industry veteran in some way. I've been doing some projects for Anime Ego. If you guys know about their Kickstarter programs, or not really programs, but it's like the Blu-ray releases they do for series. I've been able to work on Otaku no Video a couple years ago, and then now this time the next project that's coming out is Megazone 2-3, so I'll be doing some work on that. Um, and I also do AMV, so I got back into that in the past couple years. I kind of did it back in high school in the early 2000s, and I self-retired for a few years since I was in school and decided to get back into it and something I love. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So, since you were the only one speaking there, how do I pronounce your name? Interatic, Matt.
Yeah, Inertia. or inertia
Inertia.
addict. Yep.
Okay, cool.
There's your ad.
Yeah.
It's a made-up word.
Okay. Clearly. So what's tell us about your panel.
So I've almost been a video game streamer for 3 years now, and I've never done anything like this. So my panel is going to be about the technical requirements and expectations of beginning and managing a video game stream. I stream a lot of Super Mario Maker to Facebook, to my page, which is called Inertiatics Gaming Page. And so yeah, like I said, I've been going at it for about 3 years. And you know, it's basically a hobby. I don't try to live off of it. It's just something I do around having a full-time job. But when I can, I usually do 2 or 3 charity events a year. So on Mother's Day, for example, I'm part of this program called Extra Life, which is
Mm.
the Children's Miracle Hospital Networks. I raise somewhere around $200 to $500 every Mother's Day doing a charity where I basically sit and play Super Mario Maker. I'm pretty decent. I'm okay at it. I play like really difficult Kaizo Mario World stuff,
Yeah.
which includes dying on the same level straight for about 2 hours or more sometimes. A lot of people mostly remark that I have incredible patience, because I'll literally play Super Mario World and just die on the same thing for 2 or 3 hours straight, if that's what it takes. But that's what I do basically. I come home after work and I sit and I play Super Mario Maker, and I try to foster a positive community on Facebook based around that. Last year we did something pretty incredible. I had about 7 pages come together, and we played for 3 straight days, and we raised $2,600 for my local children's hospital.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh wow.
And that's
amazing.
pretty-
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple other pages pull out the big guns and really contribute, so I feel like we got very lucky. But that's the idea behind the stream, is just trying to. I've always been interested in video games. It's always been something I enjoy doing when I come home from school and such. So I figured this was an opportunity to turn my passion into something positive and a way to help people doing that. So you can just find me basically hanging out on stream a lot of nights playing Mario Maker, trying to line up good causes, things like that.
Awesome.
So,
Nice, nice. Good to
Mario
hear.
Mario Maker is just like, yeah, you have to have patience for that. I've seen the things that people come up with.
Pretty hard.
I don't know how you all do it. Okay, so let's go for. Why don't you introduce yourself and your panel, Petrie Cosplay?
Okay, so hello, my name is Andrew Petrie, or Petrie Cosplays. I have been
That's where it came
cosplaying
from,
since
okay.
2015 and have hosted a variety of events at a few gaming places, as well as multiple conventions. For WebCon, I am going to be the AMV contest coordinator, and I am also hosting a panel called Grand Adventures, A Westerner's Perspective on JRPGs. And the panel will be focused on Japanese role-playing games, so I highly recommend joining if you haven't played any of these video games, such as Kingdom Hearts, which is what I'm cosplaying from right now, Final Fantasy, Pokemon, Nier Automata, Shin Megami Tensei Persona. So, and even if you have played these games, I recommend you come, because there will be a Q&A session at the end where different players can discuss, what JRPGs they've played in the past and what they recommend. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
That sounds fun. I've played a couple. That sounds like a cool time.
Sure.
I have a 17-part Persona 5 unfinished playthrough on my YouTube account.
I was gonna say only 17, and you said unfinished. I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's not finished yet.
I have a bunch of those just hanging there from like years ago.
Yeah.
It's TBD. Maybe one day it'll be finished. It took me 7 years to finish Fable 2, so let's not talk about it. Let's not. They're very upset with me.
Let's
I'm
not talk
surprised I
about
have
that.
any subscribers. So Makeup Mermaid cosplay looking very lovely.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm Makeup Mermaid Cosplay. Today I'm dressed as Victor from Yuri on Ice, the anime. I'm going to be hosting a panel on cosplay and costume design. So if you want to learn a little bit what goes into kind of creating your cosplays, you want to do your own thing, maybe try doing an AU, maybe try kind of designing off the beaten path or kind of playing with and adding in new materials and stuff like that. This is one of the cosplays I made and I will be talking about. This is Victor from Yuri on Ice, and he is all hand-dyed silk chiffon with many Swarovski crystals as well. So if you want to kind of learn more about that, check out my panel at 3 on Saturday. I'm also going to be part of a cosplay and photography panel. So if you want to learn more about what goes into cosplay and photography, both from the cosplayer's point of view and the photographer's point of view, I would check that out on 7 on Saturday as well. But a little bit more about myself. I'm a cosplayer from the Boston area. I've been competing for the past 1.5 years, 2 years, and I've been cosplaying for 5 or 6 years now. I love doing kind of my own take on characters, such as with Victor, I've kind of worked off of the anime and added my own elements as well. I do a lot of princess characters, and I'm part of the Heroes for Hire group as well. I do performances. And the makeup mermaid kind of comes from I do mermaid performances as well. So you can check those all out on my Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, Makeup Mermaid Cosplay.
Awesome. That's I kudos to everyone that does actual cosplay contests. I'd done maybe one and I was like, okay, maybe 5 more years I'll do another one. That was like really intense. So I give it up to y'all.
They're great communities too, though. I've learned so much from other people backstage. So if you want to learn more about, I'll be talking a little bit about cosplay contests as well in my panel. So if you want to hear about that, check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's move on with the other cosplayers here. We'll go to cosplay. Let's see, Mars is closer. So cosplay from Mars.
Well, hello. So for starters, I'm Mars and I'm from the Seattle area, actually.
Hey, represent! Oh my God, I'm from Seattle, but I live in Boston right now. I had to Seahawks.
Ooh, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry about that. So everything being Eastern time is a little like chaotic, but it's all good. So my panel is going to be at 8:30, I believe it was, and I'm going to be doing a little sleepover type thing with Miss Pluto as well. And it's going to be really fun. And yeah, I've been doing cosplay for about, I want to guess, 2 years now. And I've done, for instance, Heather Chandler from Heathers. I've had a Princess Bubblegum at one point that I cost tested. And I've just been a little over the place with all of mine, but it's been really fun. So yeah.
Awesome.
Can't wait for your panel.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I saw it and I was like, sleepover. I don't know what that means. No one can actually sleep over anywhere now.
Social
True.
distancing sleepover.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, that is very true.
All through the power of
Very,
the
very
internet.
true.
Just like the
That's a little
convention.
bit creepy to think about. Rows of sleeping bags perfectly 6 feet distance apart from each other. You walk into a room like that before quarantine, people be like,
That's crazy.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that
I-
would seem like it's just like
Like an army
something-
barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about cosplay from Pluto?
Hi, I'm cosplay from Pluto. I have been cosplaying since I think 2011. I only did Kaza cosplays, but recently I've been getting into more, in-depth animes, and I started to get more into-depth cosplays. I do a lot of cosplaying princesses for like my local children's hospital. and I like to go and surprise the children and do all that. My panel is, and I'm Mars is one of my helpers. We're doing a panel on Voltron, so we're gonna do it's gonna be very fun.
Voltron? That's cool.
The
Yeah.
80s Voltron or Voltron Legendary Defenders?
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Voltron Legendary Defenders, a little bit of
Hey.
both.
Okay.
Who's your favorite princess to do for the children's visit?
I'd have to say between Belle and Ariel. I love Belle's dress, but I also like to be Ariel because I can bring out a little bit more character in her than I think I could if I did Belle.
Yeah. No, I love doing Ariel as well. She's my favorite. You can probably tell by my username. Performed her, yeah, so many times with Heroes for Hire and other groups as well. Yeah, she's a great character to perform as.
Yeah, Ariel's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, I recently did Anastasia. Starting to make her costume now, but I'm starting to gather all of her materials, and right now I'm making her corset for her gown.
I actually have done an Anastasia gown as well. I did her transformation gown from Orphan Anya to her her Once Upon a December gown. So I'd love to see that happen at some point too. It sounds great.
That's amazing.
Anastasia at Pop Cult?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Yeah, I love that.
I've done her. Right now, I have her blue gown sitting in my closet right now. Handmade, yeah.
I wish more kids knew about her.
Yeah, I do too.
There is the musical that came out not too long ago.
And it was Queen of Boston.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, before everything happened. But it's one of my favorites.
It was stunning.
I've been seeing Anastasia more lately on social media.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
I grew up on her, so it was really nice to see people actually coming with the cosplay. So
yeah,
I had to explain it to one of my friends recently, and he didn't know who she was, and I had to go into her whole backstory and everything. And I was like, "You have to watch the movie with me one day. It's so amazing."
Yeah, I went to New York right before we went to see Anastasia on Broadway, and I casual cosplayed her. I had a yellow dress with a big bow. And then I walked everywhere. I vlogged it a little bit, never uploaded it because I don't have time.
No.
I went to Mood, and people at Mood were the only people who guessed who I was. They're like, "Oh my God, you're Anastasia." I'm like, "Yes, thank you." All the validation I needed.
I saw
And of course, Jorge, you are also given a panel, correct?
Yes, correct. I'm also during the quarantine. I kind of became a part-time streamer, streaming on Twitch and Facebook at the moment. That's been fun. Since I got all the time in the world, why not? It's the main thing that's keeping me sane for the moment. So the two panels I'm doing tips and tricks for video game collecting. I'm super into video games, of course, since I stream. As of late, I've been really adding on to my collection, and just picking up random tips. And I figured, hey, why not spread that knowledge out there? And then also my second panel is going to be beginners tips for traveling to Japan. I went to Japan for the first time back at the end of last September. It was an amazing time. So I'm trying to share that knowledge as well, because I know that's a whole bunch of people's buckets list, and surprisingly, it wasn't as tough as I thought it would be. So I'm like, why don't I go talk about that as well? And then also, I'm going to be in charge of the game room during all that time.
Sounds good. Japin, let me know what your stream is. I can share it to my group on Facebook.
Ooh, appreciate it, man.
I can try to pass your stuff around.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. What part of Japan did you visit?
It was mostly Tokyo. The farthest I went was Mount Fuji, but it was a week, so I'm just like, I'll just stick in Tokyo. I don't want to spend a 12-hour flight getting there and then spend a half a day going to Kyoto or something like that. I'll just chill around Tokyo.
In Tokyo, did you ever do the go-karting where you go-kart throughout the streets?
No, I didn't, but I saw it everywhere.
Oh,
And of course, when everyone it must have been amazing because every turn they took, everyone would just be like, "Oh my God, look, it's them!" And they're like, "Yeah."
So I have to ask, did you go to the Akihabara district?
Of course I did.
Hey, with
Yeah,
the
that was
Sega arcade, everything.
Mhm. There wasn't that many arcade. Well, there was a good amount of arcade stuff, but didn't really play that much. I
Hmm.
mostly went there to get like video games and Fire Emblem Cipher cards.
I went there. I've been there also.
Nice.
Did you
Yeah.
check out Geo when you were in Japan? That's like it's like a rental store. I was in Kanazawa at a school trip 6 years ago. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I was there for a week to teach kids English. It was actually really cool.
Oh, that
And they
sounds
had a
awesome.
store called they call it Geo, but it's Geo, Geo, and it's like
Mhm.
a rental store, but you can buy games and you can rent CDs and still DVDs, just about everything.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but there's a bunch of like stores like that. I felt, though maybe not rental, but there was a good amount like of game stores there or like
Yeah.
things that did
Oh,
that.
I went to Japan for 2 weeks in September of 2014 as well, and it was just mind blowing. It was such an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's
I
totally life
found
changing.
I found Final Fantasy 4 and 6 in a bin in Japan, and I bought them for like $14. Couldn't
Nice.
believe it.
Together.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, I found
That's
them
pretty
like in a
amazing.
used bin cheap, and I couldn't help myself. And part of the reason I went was my friend Fred went to school there for college, so I was basically just going with him. But we went to a Final Fantasy 14 cafe in Akihabara, and it was unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I have a lot I'd love to talk to you about that, Jathan. We should
Ooh.
definitely share links later.
Will do. Will do.
You're
So
going-
during
going
the
to Japan
introduction,
about
I think we all talked about our panels, except Dustin. I'm not sure if you want to quickly talk about
No,
that.
see, I went first, and so I kind of forgot that tidbit of what I'm a panelist. So what panel are you doing?
Yeah.
No worries, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
also
why I
went
went first.
early.
I had to look. I had to
I
look
didn't mention my
bad.
time.
I had to look bad to make you guys look good. That's why. So at 11:45 on Saturday, I'm going to be doing Anime at War, and Anime at War is a panel about how war is represented in Japanese anime regarding like historic events. And I'm throwing in a few things in there too regarding like robots, giant robots that fight, and even animals. So definitely come by and check that out. Anime at War 11:45 is an hour-long panel, video based. I'm not going to do hardly any talking. I'll do some on intros and stuff, but the rest of it is just here's what it is. It's show and tell. Enjoy it. Please check this out.
Cool. Matt, did you say you needed to go over your panel or?
Did I need
No,
to go
I
over
just
my
I just forgot to mention. First off, shout outs to the New York area because that's where I'm from, and I also
I
just
love New
forgot to
York.
mention. Yeah, I love it too. I'm like an hour from the city. It's really nice.
Hmm.
But I just forgot to mention that my panel on video game streaming is at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Just forgot to mention
Okay.
that.
I think mine's at 11:45 p.m. on Saturday, and then it goes till 12:45 a.m.
So
or
for the
12:15.
So for the AMV contest, the good news is we have our own AMV theater in Discord, and there are going to be some different AMV events scattered out. So just look for that in the schedule. But the AMV contest will be premiering at 1:00 p.m. and the winners will be on Saturday, and the winners will be announced at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. As for my panel, it will be, I believe we have it scheduled 5:30 to 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited for everyone to present their panels and we're looking forward to it. So if you out there see or hear anything of interest to you, be sure to register for WebCon at webconlive.com and you will get the Discord link to get into all the little shenanigans that happen in Discords and get to ask questions and connect with other convention attendees. We have almost around 200 plus attendees at the moment, so you'll be in good company. And I know that quarantine has everyone a little bit lonely, so we can take care of that for you, and we can all make new awesome friends all over the world.
Yes.
Just even look at this room right now. People from Boston, New York, Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's kind of the best part about doing a virtual convention, right? That we can really meet people from kind of all over. And so with that being said, one of the questions that I have for you guys is, how different has it been or to prepare for a virtual panel, or if you had to take any of your in-person workshops and make them virtual, how different has it been for you? And was it difficult? Was it easy? What were the challenges with that?
Yeah.
I guess
I think it's definitely been something different. As a lot of my panels, I like to kind of get more like audience participation and interaction and actually like go into the audience. So like I'll like do some sort of like I did a mermaiding 101 panel at Pop Cult this past year. So
Wow.
actually like got into some of my mermaid gear to show everybody it. So it's been kind of interesting trying to transport that media online and still get people kind of excited. And I hope you guys are still really all excited about these amazing panels we have lined up.
I kind of wanted to ask about the logistics of walking around cosplaying as Ariel. How how does that work?
Yeah, so that can be fun. You have to have a mer handler or mer wrangler or a pirate or whatever you want to call them.
Pirate.
Yeah, either wheel you around or pick you up.
Yeah.
So
Been waiting
Gotta
for a
put you
good
in a
pirate
fish
to
tank.
come around and pick me up.
there you go.
Put you in a fish tank like the movie Splash, where they had
Yeah, I do
Daryl Hannah in
underwater
there.
references as well.
I've never cosplayed. I've gone overboard on Halloween once or twice, but I've always wanted to put together like an actual. I would probably do like Link from The Legend of Zelda, I think. But I've always wanted to put together like a costume that was more than just sort of tossed together. So you guys are feeding me big inspiration. And I'm also a bit of an anime fan. I have a Crunchyroll subscription, and I watch anime with my friend Doc at night. So um, yeah, some of it is really interesting, and I'm mostly known for Mario Maker. That's what most people like to watch. But I've played Tales of Zestiria.
Need
I
to
have the Final
Mm.
Fantasy VII remake. I plan on playing that. What else? I've got like Dragon Quest 11. I definitely play a handful of JRPGs when I can get around to it. They're just usually like an 80-hour time investment, so that can
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the drawbacks of
they're
those.
long.
This quarantine has definitely helped because I've been able to beat games that have been on my bucket list for like the longest time. So
Mm.
I feel that.
Yeah, I got to get on that Persona 5 thing again.
So do I. I
Honestly-
started off Persona 5 The Royal, and I just haven't been able to jump back onto it.
Yeah.
Being a cosplayer, my advice to you, Matt, is that I've learned many different skills. Like I don't consider myself an artist. Like outside of cosplay, I'm a historian. So the fact that I'm, taking the time to save up money and use it to buy stuff and like think creatively, like for example, what Makeup Mermaid cosplay said, like, how can I make this character stand out? Like, for example, I don't have it with me right now, but I have like an Oblivion Keyblade for my Roxas cosplay. And that's like the one thing that like when people at con see me, everyone just comes up, they're like, oh my god, that Keyblade, did you make that? It looks so realistic. And it's just like that aspect. But cosplay is fun and anyone should feel free to cosplay. So I would absolutely encourage you to cosplay, even if you've never done it before. Just throw yourself out there and you'll have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks fun. I always enjoy meeting cosplayers and taking photos with them.
And you can learn more about that etiquette in our cosplay and photography panel.
There
Yeah,
we
that's good.
go.
Plug.
Perfect plug.
Excellent.
The perfect plug.
Never hurts to brush up on your etiquette, that's for sure.
Yes, especially with all of us being in quarantine. I figure a lot of us have forgotten what etiquette is.
Yeah, it's like I get it. Like I get some of those little kids that'll come up and like ask, but then I get some of those people that'll just come up and just like touch me, and then it's like I get a little bit uncomfortable because I have certain pieces on me that I don't want to get ruined by like touch or something like that. So
Yeah, the effort that goes in is really high, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Dustin, I think you were saying that you have been a panelist for quite some time. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2011 actually was the first panel I did, and that was at Animazement. I am from the Raleigh area, but I live in South Carolina right now. So Animazement is my home con, and I live closer to Atlanta, so I've been going to AWA the past 3 years. And so like I did a panel there, my first one with me and a couple of guys that did podcasting. We did one called "What the Damn Moments in Anime." Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We didn't think anybody would show up, and that room was packed, and they had a great time. It was more like just a clip show of just how weird and dumb anime can get. And then I kind of took that later to local cons around South Carolina and excuse me, in Georgia. And I've called it "What the Heck Moments in Anime." So I did it for a number of years at like Bonsai Con in Columbia, and I did it like at a midnight to 2 a.m. panel. And I got to the point where I'm driving back home, trying to avoid deer and stay awake at 3 in the morning during a what was it? It was a night that there was one of the time changes, and I had my girlfriend at the time. And after that, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I just kept it as an all ages panel. But I've done other stuff. Gosh, this past AWA, I took on the Herlukian big task, I guess, of talking about every single anime that has ever aired on Cartoon Network, going back 25 years.
Oof.
That took a number of research to find that between like Wikipedia articles, and I've got tapes that have stuff I recorded off TV the past 20 years that I used for footage. So people got to see Ronin Kenshin when it was on Toonami, and when Evangelion was on Toonami in the early 2000s before it got on the Adult Swim. I have those tapes. So I'm glad to show it to anyone that's interested in that kind of stuff. And some people do know about it.
Ooh.
So it's just a varied thing. Just whatever piques my interest. So Animate War was something I've been wanting to do for a few years. And I decided to just buckle down. I have a clip show because I have all this knowledge in my head that I just have to regurgitate to people, whether they want it or not. So that's kind of been my attitude.
It was a life-changing moment back when we discovered as teenagers that Sam Goody had an anime section in their VHS rack. Like,
we had a Suncoast when I lived in Cary, North Carolina, the Cary Tech Center. And I went to Suncoast a lot, and Dragon Ball Z was on TV, or just started for a couple months. And they only showed up to I think it was the Ocean dub, which had the first 52 episodes. And then they recycled back to the first episode. So I had to know what happened next because it was in the middle of the fight with Raccoon and Gohan and Krillin. So you had to know what happened, but the remaining episodes of those weren't dubbed yet. And then eventually got to Funimation, so then they eventually released the rest of it. I kind of like that. A lot of people like me have that nostalgia for the Ocean dub. You can definitely understand King Kai better because I noticed when they did the newer dubs, it sounded like you just shoved King Kai's mouth with mothballs and expect them to talk, and you're like, you can't understand anything he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true.
Going back to your question again, I think something different about doing online panels versus the in-person panels is you can wear whatever you want below the belt, like
yes,
and stuff like that. Like I have very comfortable like leather Victor pants usually for this cosplay, and I just get to be in like leggings or shorts or whatever I want. Or if I'm in princess gown, I don't have to wear the bottom half of the ball gown. I can just wear the top half. So that's something good about
very true.
My panels is it's very warm in Boston right now, and I don't have to be in very warm pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know pleather pants all too well, and they look great, but everything else in hot weather not so good.
That jacket looks great, by the way. I love that.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
This is just from Forever 21. I think a lot of them were going out of business. I got it for like $5.
It reminds me of the KDA outfits.
I'm not really related, but it's funny you say that because for the past year and a half, I've been cosplaying as Evelyn from KDA. I've been working on a real, an IRL remake of the music video.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, we took a year to film it on our own, and I'm about to edit it up eventually. we don't have to be relevant. You know, we make ourselves relevant, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
I mean,
how
I'm
that
in
works.
Victor. Yuri on Ice came out many years ago. We haven't had any new content in a while.
Yeah,
Adolescence,
we
who
need
knows
season
when
2.
that's gonna happen?
We're
But,
supposed to have a movie in 2019, but that never happened.
Adolescence. We'll see. But you know what? Like, who cares? As long as you're happy in the cosplay, you can make it relevant again. I'm like, bring back Yuri on Ice 2020. There you go.
Bring back Homestuck. Bring back everything.
The nostalgia.
I actually used to cosplay Dave and John, funny enough, from Homestuck. But sadly, those have been retired for a little bit until I can get more of what I would like them to look like and everything. And that also reminds me about the Yuri on Ice. It just reminds me of Oron Host Club.
Yes.
It's so long.
The long-awaited second season.
Yeah, I actually cosplay
it's so overdue.
I actually cosplay as Tamaki Suo and Kyoya Otori.
Tamaki's been on my list for a while too. So
I wanted to do Honey.
Me and my sister do Honey and Tamaki sometimes.
Oh. And what about you, Jorge? What are you when you were preparing for your panels? I don't know how many panels how many panels have you done before this?
I actually was part of one.
Really?
Taxis. I was doing. It was like I think it was like a esports to everyday life kind of like things we learned from that. One thing that's been interesting about this, I feel like a lot of panels have been just one person, like they've barely been any teams. So when I prepared for that panel, there was like a whole squad of us. Like I think it was like 5-6 people in a panel. So like one thing I thought about was like, man, I gotta talk for an hour probably. Like trying to get all that together. But also I guess kind of might help in the creative sense because you have that freedom. You're just that one person, so it's up to you what you want to put and what you don't want to put. I actually had another panel scheduled, but I couldn't. But when I got to that one, I felt like I was forcing stuff, so I couldn't really I couldn't really justify talking about it for an hour other than me just geeking out on like. It was supposed to be like a Fire Emblem cipher panels. For those that don't know, that's the Japan exclusive card game for Fire Emblem. So like I was gonna talk about it for a bit, but I don't know, just like when I got to it, the other panels just went smoothly. This one, like I just have to cut it.
Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of, listen to your gut and edit and really just, go with what resonates with you. I think, with anything, even when you're streaming or giving a panel, anything virtual, people can really tell where if it's coming from a place of authenticity and excitement, and that's more what people want to see, right? People want to see you get excited about something, and then they get excited, and everyone's
like you hear
excited.
everyone here, everyone's like seems super excited for their panel because kind of goes back to what all their introductions tied up to that. So you could tell like there's love in there. For sure.
I'm super nervous because I've never done this before. So if it's coming off as excitement, then I am winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Don't worry.
So how was your creative process for your panel, Matt? Tell us about that.
Well, luckily, what I do is sort of just me playing games. So I was gonna play. I basically have a couple difficult Super Mario Maker 2 levels lined up that I was gonna play through for about half the panel, maybe about 30 minutes, just to give people a sense of like the vibe that I try to create when I create a stream like that. And then I was going to transition into going over like the technical aspects, open broadcaster software, the software that you have to use, and setting up the technical things. I have an IT. I work in IT, so I'm kind of a computer guy anyway. So I was going to go over some of the terminology and stuff that might not be accessible. You'd be surprised actually how many people like playing video games but aren't super comfortable with computers. It's actually a little surprising because to me they go kind of hand in hand. My interest in electronics has always been what naturally kind of drove me to video games. And I also look at them as sort of the fusion between a book and a movie. You get to sort of interact, use your brain, and also you're presented with objective things that you have to deal with in problem solving and stuff. So I wanted to, basically, it's not so bad. I was just going to go live playing a game for about 30 minutes, and then I was going to basically deconstruct the scene, um, just eliminate all the movie magic, so to speak, and talk about how you generate the signal and strategies for choosing a game that won't make you rage and curse everybody out while you play it, stuff like that. Things to avoid and things to focus on. But it's not so bad. My apartment is. I have a bookcase to my left here, which has a lot of video games on it. I have a small collection. I have a Nintendo collection, some Genesis games, Super Nintendo. I have Atari stuff still in the plastic. I have video games that are as old as I am, and behind me is actually like my couch and my wall and stuff. So I've got a green screen just hanging in the middle of my living room. Like I've basically just converted the living space. And
I was gonna say that that Zoom background looks too good to be.
I got a photography kit that comes with like a green screen and some stands, and because I have a drop ceiling, I was able to just kind of move the ceiling panels. I took a little metal twine and I hung the bar from my ceiling, so I can actually just kind of my chair's under it, but I can basically just like pull this back like a curtain.
Literally,
and there's my couch and my whole basically exactly. So so it's fun. It's like just a little bit of special effects, a little bit of magic. So I was going to play for 30 minutes, and then I was going to deconstruct the scene and explain more or less how to create this, because computer processors and stuff, we're in the age where almost anyone can do this now. It's a lot of it's free. The software you use, a lot of that's free. So as long as you can buy a computer with a strong enough processor, this is actually really accessible to most people. So I was going to do that.
Yeah,
I think that's really important, especially for right now. There are so many people who, want to get into streaming now because they do have the time, and even in a different way. So I do a lot of dancing. I know a lot of dance and fitness instructors who need help trying to stream all of their classes, and I keep saying, like, go find a gamer friend. Like, you have that one student who's a gamer and they said they streamed that one time. There needs to be some sort of matchmaking to happen so that both people can also just make more money.
Yeah. I've been asked by a lot of people, like, how do you, what kind of camera do you use? How do you like get that out there onto the internet? And it's actually not so bad, but you'll learn that when you come to my panel. It's Saturday, 4 p.m.
Awesome. I'm going to redirect a whole bunch of people to that. I'm so glad that you said you were going to do that. I think a lot of people can really learn and really troubleshoot a lot of basic things that really hold them back.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's, knowing what to even search for.
Yeah, it can be a lot of research to do. But the great thing is, once you get it set up, it's more or less clicking the live button and doing your thing. It's more or less, you have to dive into it once, get it all set up the way you want it to, and then you kind of leave it alone, which is really nice.
I recently got to that point with my stream where it's just like, okay, I'm ready to go. Just press the record. Maybe I might have to change an HDMI, but other than that, I'm all set to go. That did take a while to get it all set up.
Yeah, before the whole planning for WebCon, like, I've been interested in like wanting to stream video games, but like I've never known how to do it. And the other day, Jess was actually teaching me how to use the OBS software so I can try to stream some of the WebCon events that I'm hosting. So I just feel like that's one of the big things that I'm learning. And going back to the original question, just that's been one of the biggest challenges, like trying to figure out how to stream on the laptop that I'm using and making sure the stream runs well and people can hear everything that I'm presenting. So
yeah, there's always an audio issue. There's always an audio issue.
Yeah.
Very true.
There's always something
totally
like repeating. Yeah. Yeah, it took 3 months just to not have the game sounds echoing or hearing yourself twice and stuff like that. It took 3 months just to iron out all those issues. But hopefully I can teach. And if you guys have any questions, you can always send me a message. I'll always be happy to help.
Awesome. Well, that's great to know. So, oh, Ant is also wanting to let all of you know that he's very excited, on all caps. And speaking of streaming, oh, someone asked if cosplayers would be interested in streaming their process of making their cosplays.
Yeah, I think that's something that's like really interesting right now, especially trying to connect with other people. I started streaming a few of the things that I was working on, just to kind of get that, connection. You usually work with some friends to try and, con crunch and do other stuff like that. So I think live streaming cosplays can be a great way to like both like just talk and feel like you're part of a community, but also pick up new skills. And my big thing is like anybody can cosplay, no matter what you look like, no matter like where you're from, what your budget is, everybody can learn how to cosplay. I've mostly taught myself how to do everything. And I've made things like literally my new Rapunzel dress, because in quarantine, we haven't been able to go to like get new supplies. I made her out of a bed sheet. So like you can do anything with what you got. So I think this is a great time to kind of learn and pick up new skills, which I'll talk more about in my panel.
Yeah, I before quarantine started, I would do lives, and I would with my followers, and we would just talk, and while I make my costumes as well as I can, because it's late at night, so you got to be quiet around like kids and stuff like that.
That's great. Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for people to really sit down and for some people learn a new skill and for people to share, what skill they have now that, people appearing at conventions and maybe doing what they would normally do outside. Now they can't. So better to sit down and try to teach other people what you know. So I think another one question is what for web how did you guys find WebCon? What made you guys decide to be panelists for WebCon?
I actually found WebCon because somebody shared it to ZipCon, a server I was in for a con that happened in February. And then I just sent it to all my friends and everybody that I knew that would love to be in a panel or wanted to do something cool.
Yeah, I almost called her God again. I can't do that. Brianna says, God, oh my God, you're in ZipCon. That was me.
So, yeah, it's not that far from my house. So my friends and me all just, got dressed up. I brought my my middle sister, and then we all just headed out and we just had a great fun, and it was a blast.
She says she's going to crash your house, so I would lock your doors. No, she's great.
Activate the defense perimeter.
Yeah, if you don't know, she is one of the heads of WebCon, and she also heads up Heroes for Hire and a bunch of other groups. She's an amazing person. Totally like all of the claps for her. She asked me
for sure
to join the con as well, to guest and be part of this con. Kind of when everything was, happening at the beginning of this crisis, to try and get people some more joy because we're kind of locked out of our usual cons and stuff like that. So no, she contacted me as to have me as a guest cosplayer as well, and I'm super glad she did. So hope you all enjoy, and let's give a clap for Brianna. Brianna's great. She's making this happen with a bunch of other amazing people on the team.
So for
she
me,
says you're gonna make her cry.
Oh,
keep it up.
Yeah, and if people want to hear more from the con chairs, I believe that is happening tomorrow on the WebCon Live Spotlight. So be sure to join us again at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to catch the con chairs. Maybe spill some tea, but mostly talk about the convention. I can't guarantee the tea, but you just never know. Stay on long enough, and who knows what'll happen.
So the way I learned about WebCon was I actually learned through Brianna. I'm friends with her, or Crystal Hart. Once again, as Makeup said, an amazing cosplayer and an amazing person in general. She does so much for the different communities that she's in, and she's really smart. Um, and for me, it was like I was feeling that con limbo. Like, I normally spend most of my free time cosplaying and going out to cons and hanging out with friends. But obviously with the pandemic, there wasn't an easy way to do that. And when I heard about this idea, I was like, okay, maybe I should try something I don't normally do, and I should become a panelist, because every time I go to a convention, I always do something cosplay related, or I host meetups like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Ruby, Persona. So I was like, I may as well try this and see where it goes. And lo and behold, that's how I got here.
Yay! And you're doing an AMV contest, correct?
Yeah, so my story with that is that whenever I go to cons, I've basically become a regular for AMV contests. Like, I I was never an AMV person growing up, and my friends dragged me when I was in high school at Anime Boston to the AMV contest, and I just, kind of fell in love with it. And the fact that you can vote for your favorite AMVs, and that the winners that you get to help decide get to be shown at the usually the Saturday night masquerade, depending on the con. So I just liked that idea, and I liked, seeing the creativity as time went on. And I love seeing like AMVs that are like, especially, combining animes. Like, there are some really great AMV with, anime combinations and comic books and whatever else. So that's what inspired me to run the AMV contest for this event.
Yeah, and I think submissions close tomorrow. Am I correct?
They close tomorrow. Yep.
Okay, so if you're out there and you have an AMV sitting around, huh?
This is your last chance.
This is your last chance. Get your submission in, and I think we're all gonna watch it on Saturday, right?
And if they do want to submit it, where do they send it to?
So they would send it. So on the WebCon website, if you click under the tab of AMV contest, all the guidelines are there, but you would submit it to the email lowercase ANDREWPETRY 125 @gmail.com. So Andrew Petrie 125 @gmail.com.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool.
So
I found
Andrew,
out about
were you
the con.
I was gonna say, Andrew, were you the one that posted the competition on the animemusicvideos.org website?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so that's how I found out about the con.
Yeah,
Because
so
Anime Lockdown was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I didn't even know this happened. And then I saw the entry there, so I entered. I'm part of a AMV group, and I think our job is to try to crash this sucker with some really good material. So I hope you like it.
Yes.
Awesome
so
to
I
hear.
actually learned about that forum because I have a friend, and she was the AMV contest coordinator for Pop Cult Anime Con, which is held in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
And she directed me to the website. So I posted on the forum and hoped I would get something. And I got like at least 8 to 10 emails from different people saying they were coming from that site, that forum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how many entries have you gotten so far for the contest as of now?
I believe about 12.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes tomorrow when I make the schedule.
They got 1 day.
Yeah, they got one day.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And
I found out about the convention from my girlfriend's friend Ariel. Asked if I would want to do something like this, and then I started talking to Brianna, and it sounds like a really awesome thing to be a part of. So I basically signed up and submitted a panel application. So jumping firmly outside of my comfort zone in a way.
Do you feel like it helped because it was a virtual panel versus just in person in front of thousands of people for real?
It would be a little tricky, I guess, to set up what I plan to do in an auditorium, but no, I wouldn't really be put off by it. I don't know. I don't think so. It sounds kind of exciting to actually have a room full of people, physically. I go to conventions, comic book conventions, anime conventions, and stuff. New York gets a fair amount of pretty decent conventions to go to, so it'd be kind of fun to do this. I used to get super nervous every single time I'd go live from my own apartment playing Mario Maker. Like, what if I'm gonna hit this level I can't finish? What's gonna happen? You know, you get that whole flood of what ifs running through
Right.
your head. Like, what's gonna go?
Mhm.
What's gonna happen if this all just crashes and burns? Like, you'll be fine. That's what's gonna happen. You'll be fine. You just handle it, you know. So I think at this point, because I've been doing this for over a year and I know I like it now, I think I'm ready to handle something like this. But earlier, I would have definitely had huge reservations, like if I were just starting.
Mm. Yeah, and something to note is that Ariel is also co-con chair of WebCon. So if you want to hear her talk, she'll be there tomorrow as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So I think we just have cosplay from Mars. How did you
I
hear about
think so.
WebCon? Though I might have an idea how.
Well, I saw it on TikTok,
Oh,
for one, and
Oh.
I also found out through Pluto, obviously.
mm.
So that's kind of how I found out about it, and I was like, I really want to do it, but I like don't, because I'm like, I don't like do stuff like this because it's like just out my comfort zone, but it's just like on that like line. Like I would go, but like would I host a panel is the question. But as you can see, I'm obviously hosting a panel, and
Yeah.
I can tell like everyone here is like really like just there for everybody. So it's like really nice, and it's not like I don't feel out of place.
Yeah, I didn't know really anybody coming in, so I was a little worried. But we all have common interests, and we all want to support each
Yeah.
other. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm totally in.
Yeah, especially in these times. We're just all looking for that connection, looking for people to just talk about things that we love, because most of our con family we're not going to see for potentially
Hmm.
the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I'm definitely um not going to let Jorge get off without answering the question. So as a panelist, how did you find out about webcon, and why did you decide to become a panelist?
So kind of like what everyone else was going through, I was just missing going to conventions. I had like most of my year planned out. Like I think I was gonna go to Evo. I was probably gonna go to New York no, not New York Comic Con, the anime one that they do at the
Anime
Jarvis Center.
yeah.
Anime
Yeah.
NYC or something like that.
Yeah, I had gone last year and I went for just one day, and I'm like, I have to go here for the whole weekend. So that was my plan with a friend. Then of course Anime Boston and all that. Probably way too much that I can name right now, but yeah. So then all this happened. I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks. Um, and I was on one of the Anime Boston or one of the Anime Boston Facebook groups. I just saw Brianna post like, "Hey, I figured out how to do a virtual con. If anyone's interested in hosting a panel, let me know." I reached out to her. She seemed super cool. Kind of went through. I was assuming it was pretty early in the process because we didn't even like start promoting or anything just at that point,
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, that's how I got on board with the team. That's how I got my. And I also thinking of like, what panels could I do? And yeah. All right,
I don't,
Jess. How
yeah,
did
I don't
you?
know. What is Ant being serious?
Yeah, I
He's,
guess.
why webcon?
Why webcon? Not how you get out into here, but why webcon?
Why webcon? I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Why not? Is my answer to that. Um,
But yeah, how'd
what
you get
webcon?
connected to webcon?
Huh?
How did you get connected to webcon?
It. Oh, he's just being a little poo poo head,
Oh.
is what he was saying. I don't know if we're swearing for this, so that's why I said that. Um, So I heard about webcon from Anime Boston. Actually, the Facebook page. I didn't know anyone at all from this from all the con chairs and things like that. So I saw them on the Anime Boston Facebook page, and I thought it was interesting. So I've been a UI UX designer for the past 8 years in online learning. So my job was to take in-person experiences and translate them to digestible online learning experiences for nonprofits, higher ed, and corporations. So with my background in that, and being that I no longer have a full-time job, I was very interested in seeing how to transition an anime convention into a virtual anime convention, and be able to share my insight and knowledge of things that I've done in the past, and how to really make it as easy of a transition and as interactive and as an experience as possible, and to try to do it all in 30 days. uh, so that's when I kind of like entered the picture. So that's I've been doing a lot of the graphical stuff and things like that. So that's why I saw that the people had the heart. I saw that the team was there. I come from somewhat an entrepreneurial background too. So when I saw those combinations of things together and knew that these people were willing to put in the work and put in the time, I decided that it was also worth my time.
I I do have some questions about how we actually do this. Is this going to be what a panel is like? Are we going to just be in like a Zoom room and like I'd be doing my thing right now, and that's what the panel is formatted as?
Yeah, it depends on if your panel is hosted on Zoom or Discord. They're very much similar. The only difference is that with Discord, people can more easily pop in and out of rooms, kind of like real life convention. They don't once they're in Discord, they don't have to click on any other type of links. They don't have to ask for people to put them in different rooms. It's very free form that way. Zoom is a little bit more difficult, just the way that it's set up. And then also with Discord, you have you have the ability for people to share multiple screens. So
Yeah.
multiple people can share multiple screens at the same time, which is something that that Zoom does not allow you to do. So yeah, I think it'd be fairly similar to this.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to know. I use Zoom at work for my support sessions with vendors and stuff, and I use Discord at home when I game. So I chose Discord, but I could make it work either way. I guess I'm happy with my choice because I do want people to feel free to come in and out as they choose. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I was definitely saying that with Discord, you have a high rate of discoverability for all the panels, and so I know that originally the con was supposed to happen on Zoom, and that's also why I messaged WebCon and the Facebook group. I was like, let's talk about this only on Zoom thing, and maybe we can add like Discord to the mix or something like that, because it was I definitely was seeing with Anime Lockdown how they were setting up their Discord, and just in general knowing that the discoverability was just enhanced, and very mirrored very much the experience of going to cons and popping in and out of rooms, was something that was really important. But you know that functionality came out maybe this month, right? So I who knows about the reliability of it all. So it's definitely a lot of a gamble, but yeah, no, I'm super excited to see how all of this goes, and I'm documenting all of this. I've been doing vlogs almost every day about just like how crazy I'm going and what I'm doing and all this other stuff. So that'll come out eventually. Uh, the behind the scenes of WebCon.
Cool.
Emotional.
So I've got a question. In terms of how many people you can fit in a Discord chat, what's the maximum limit on that?
So for a Discord chat, when you're using, so if you're streaming, but you don't have your video on, there isn't a limit to the room. So anyone can come in and view your stream. And correct me if I'm wrong. But the new feature where if someone turns on their video, the video chat only allows 25 people in the room at a time. And that's per room. So it's not for the whole entire server.
Okay, so because mine will be a video. I mean, it's going to be a video panel. Obviously, it limits me down to 25 people in that Discord chat.
No, so if you share, so yours wouldn't be considered video because video is like a video of your face. I think you
Okay.
can stream your screen, for instance. Like live streaming that doesn't count.
Okay. So heat of warning: anybody joining Enemy of War, do not do a video of anything. Just keep your mics muted. You can talk to me afterwards.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
like my rule.
I think we've got a lot of that set up too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But some people don't want to listen sometimes. You know how that is.
Oh, they don't have to listen if we don't give them permissions.
That's where God comes in
You don't give
with
them
his
an
almighty
option.
judgment.
So,
Mhm.
so if we have like, I have like I think like 5 to 6 panelists in my panel. Is that gonna limit? Is that gonna lower the number of people that I can have in my panel per se, or how many people can be in like to view the panel?
It really depends on how you structure it and if people are going to be sharing screens at the same time. I'm not personally too worried about the limit. As much as I would love for thousands of people to be at WebCon. We do have like around 200-ish people. So with that, I'm not too worried about the limit. And also, do keep in mind that there are some panels that are being live streamed. I'm going over the schedule for that today. And you can also live stream your panels as well. And if you guys have more questions about questions about technical know-how and knowledge between Discord and Zoom, there was a Discord training last night. There's a Zoom training tonight that talks about basics of Zoom and Discord. So I would definitely check out that YouTube link that was posted the other day.
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to look for that or re-request that. I'd love to watch the Discord one. That would put all my nerves at ease.
Same.
Sure. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask any of us. Ask me. I've been doing a lot of messing around with Discord. I've been trying to help my dancer friends teach their classes and really figure out, try how to do certain things like flip your camera so that it's mirrored. So when I raise my right hand, you'll raise your right hand, because that's not something that's native in Zoom or Discord. But yeah, if you have any questions about your panel, feel free to message us. And I think we're coming up on the hour here. If Jorge, if you have anything that you'd like to wrap up with.
One thing I was gonna say to everyone was that even like like if you're doing Discord, get in Discord and practice. Try checking out how that did. I did that once a couple of weeks ago for the game stream setup. It took a bit to get it work, but once it worked, it was good. So I'd highly suggest even just if you have your own server, try to act like, okay, how is this going to work, and toy around with it there.
Yeah, and I do want to say that for we have these lovely panelists here, but that isn't the only thing that WebCon has to offer. WebCon also features a whole slew of talented artists from kind of all over. So check out the Artists Alley. There's also going to be games for people to play in the Discord rooms. There's going to be some D&D sessions. And there's also going to be after parties where we have DJs. I think they're local to the Boston area, and they'll be playing their awesome sets. So come and party with us, even though we'll all be in a room by ourselves, but dancing with other people digitally. And I guess there's also a yoga room. Yeah, there we have a quiet place. So if everything gets too much for you and you just need a place to chill, I think they'll be playing some soothing spa type music to help you get your center. And
there's also a Bob Ross channel, so you can just click on the Bob Ross videos and watch him for a bit.
How did I not know about the Bob Ross one?
There's a lot of channels. There's one that I think it's like what is it, like walking in the hallway or like
Yeah,
or
there's a
something
hallway,
like that?
there's an elevator one. To
An
kind of
elevator.
Yeah.
the weird interactions you have at cons of just like, oh, there's like that crazy cosplay over there. There's this going on over there. So we're trying to mimic like the full con experience.
I think there's
Yeah.
also other
While
stuff
doing
like
it
pets
online.
as well. I saw pets one.
There's a pets one. There's a hotel party channel. There's
Mhm.
a bar. There's a weapon check and cosplay repair. So
That's cool.
if it, and they take it very seriously over there, just so you know. We have a few security
Was there a
guards
hotel
that,
lobby?
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
weapon check, but the cosplay repair. That's really serious.
yeah,
Yeah.
super serious, super serious. We have
Have
some
your hot
Cosplay
glue guns at the
tips.
ready. They're
Hmm?
not sewing machines, but they will do in a pinch. Hot glue guns at the ready.
it's true.
Brianna
It's
says
true.
mayonnaise is a weapon.
The
I-
the
I asked
cosplay
that in-
repair channel is just a bunch of pictures of hot glue guns. Like that's all it is. No, if it
But
isn't, it will be soon.
About an online con is everybody should still be doing this and still be taking care of themselves and showering, but we do not have to have any of the lovely aromas that happen at cons.
It is
Yeah.
not a con without BO across the halls. It's just not the same.
It
Yeah, but
isn't
seriously
the
though,
same.
you're all better
Oh.
showers.
It's
I
not.
mean, we do have a webcon shirt that says no deodorant needed. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Just don't go to that
we
house.
do have a we do
Don't
have
go to
merch.
that house.
Here you can create
No
it in your
pants
house and
needed.
enjoy that. But yeah, there you go.
I gotta
Yes.
say the positive thing about this con, at least an online con, is that you're not dropping money that you don't have. You have a
Yeah,
budget
very true.
per se, and you go to the dealer's room and it's just like, well, what's money? I need this. At least I think I do in this moment, because I'm talking about myself.
Right.
There's a mirror and I'm pointing at myself. Like, you're that person. So I know I'm not the only one, and that's how
Oh,
these
no,
little
not at
stores
all.
keep in business. But at least with like the online stuff, you can like look and like really think about it. And it's not
True.
quick buyer's impulse kind of thing. And I like that.
Yeah.
That's a positive. We're saving money.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We
just
hope.
gonna go
Still
towards other
support
stuff.
all
That's
your
just what I've
artists.
done.
We have so many great artists in our artist alley at WebCon, so check them all out. They all have great work, and you get them shipped. You don't even have to like lug it around the con the whole time. Lug your big like new posters or waifu pillow or something. I don't know. You don't have to deal with lugging it around. It gets shipped right to your door. So check out and support the artists.
Make
Yeah,
sure
and I
also-
mean, you're already saving so much money, but not having to pay to
Not pay
attend
for
the
a
con.
hotel, not pay for,
Exactly.
Nothing.
for travel.
Yeah. And
Not-
hotel costs are about 80% of your expenses.
There you go.
Very true.
Don't have to pay for hotel rooms, no plane tickets, no gas, nothing.
Yeah.
don't have-
And that expensive con food. You don't need any of
I
that.
I was gonna
know.
say you don't have to go to
Yeah.
the food
Sandwich.
truck and spend $20 on a hot dog.
Exactly.
I
We
joke
have
with my
some
friends.
donation areas though as well for worthy causes though, if you guys do want to check those out. But yeah, you'll be saving a lot of money overall this con. I know it's all been hard for all of us right now.
I was joking with my friends. I was like, yeah, I just normally store food in my hotel room and I just go up there and eat. And now I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have that. I can just go down to my kitchen and eat.
Yeah. Or just have like, hey, like just let me send a message real quick. Hey, can you just like bring me like a bag of popcorn?
Yeah, bring me some anything. Just bring me some food.
There you go. There are a lot of great charities right now. If you're saving some money, that'd be a good place to drop it.
Yeah. And I am sadly going to have to say I have to go right
No
now.
worries. Thank
But
you
it was
so much.
amazing being here and like getting to talk with everyone and like know a little bit more on like everything.
Yeah, no, we thank all of you for being here, and we're super excited to see and listen to everything you guys have to present
Yeah.
over the weekend. And it was great to get to know everyone, a little bit of powwow, a little bit of, like
Yeah.
con bonding. So that's
Yeah.
I still feel the feels. Is
Definitely.
there before everyone goes, is there something, shameless plugs? Let it all hang out.
Yes, all of it, all your social medias. Go for it.
Cosplay from Mars 2.0 on Instagram. My Snapchat's GalaxyCat38. I have way too many things to plug, so I'm only gonna do those right now.
I have cosplay from Pluto for my Instagram and my TikTok, so it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I
You can find me. Oh, go for it.
Go, you go.
You can find me most nights on facebook.com/inertiatic gaming. I have VODs and such you can look through. That's about it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I am Makeup Mermaid Cosplay, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Check it out, and Discord as well now. I also do cosplay commissions, so if you guys are looking for your next new cosplay with a fun flair to it, check me out. And I've also been doing mask commissions right now as well. So if you guys need your own fabric masks, I got some fun nerdy prints and just some fun ones to match your cosplay in general. So yeah, check all those things out. Cool.
On Facebook, you can find me at Petrie Cosplays. On Instagram, I am at Petrie Cosplays, and I highly recommend you join that because that's where I post the most, and I've had a lack of posting lately and followers due to the pandemic. And then on Discord and Twitch, my Twitch is relatively new though. You can add me at FoxyGrandpa729.
I like that name. It's
That's
very
also my
nice.
Smash Bros tag because I play competitive Smash.
You can find me at Anime of Yesteryear Podcast. That's Twitter at AOY, and there's also a website, aoypodcast.com. Our goal was to talk about animes, but we have not done it in the past few episodes. We did. My co-host and I reviewed all 9 episodes of the Watchmen HBO series and trash talk that sucker. But we do talk about cartoons once in a while, and that should be coming up. So definitely check us out. And I'm Dustin, by the way.
What about you? Okay.
Oh, that's right, of course. My Facebook streaming thing is Facebook/JPin_ill, and my Twitch is also the same thing. So is my Twitter, JPin_ill.
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you all for being here, and this was such a lovely stream. One of the things I want to leave off with too is we're also helping out with a light, and they are a light charity, and they were formerly called the American Refugee Committee. The organization works in providing healthcare and clean water, shelter protection, and economic opportunity to more than 3.5 million people in 17 countries each year. So go ahead and check them out on webconlive.com #InOurHands. They're doing a social media movement where they're asking people to write positive messages on their hands and post them to their social media to really to really make everyone feel the positivity in these really dark times. And also we have some merch. You can find that on our webconlive.com site very soon, featuring a few of the con sayings that we've come up with, such as no deodorant needed, no waiting in line, as well as we have our mascot Webby that was done by the lovely Mink Sater Cosplay. And she did such a wonderful job. There's a bunch of merch related to Webby, and every $5 or all the $5 from each shirt that you purchase goes to the Alight charity. So even if you do want to spend some money on merch, you can do so with a clean conscience and knowing that you're helping the world right now and getting a cool t-shirt out of it. So yeah, check them out.
And don't forget, there's the scavenger hunt going on.
Oh yes, something very new is we do have that scavenger hunt that I have to somehow add to the website in my infinite amount of time. I'm okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Well, we hope to see you all again tomorrow at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will have the con chairs talk about everything amazing that they do for all of us here. So thank you all, and I hope you have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks
Everyone.
for
See you later.
watching.
Bye.
Bye.